The first thing I want to cover is oddly music related, even though this has nothing to do with my side music channel. Although it's related to the first review I put out. So again, I have that review channel and I reviewed an album called A Reckoning by an artist named Kimbra. And when I was compiling the sort of like things I wanted to discuss in that review, I stumbled upon something that just sort of, I don't know how to put it, blew me away. I guess everyone knows about the Daily Mail. But okay, so here's what it says. This is incredible. Okay. So it says, what happened to Kiwi singer Kimbra? So for those of you who don't know, Kimbra's like biggest song, or at least the song that got her famous, if you will, is the song Somebody That I Used to Know by Gautier. I think that's how you pronounce his name. You know the song. You know the song. And it was so popular, she won several Grammys off of it. It was a huge hit. And so, yeah, that was like the first single. So it's like, and that was back in 2011. So they're like, what happened to that singer? The hitmaker is unrecognizable following X-rated makeover 12 years after topping the charts with Gautier. And so part of me is like, what is an X-rated makeover? You know? So it's just like, you were clothed and we gave you a makeover to be naked. The makeover was just taking off your clothes. And then I'm like, why is this a story, okay? And especially like when you read this headline, what is it that you're thinking when you read this headline? Like, are we not, is not the expectation that we are going to see a nude Kimbra? The first thing is they have this image. I don't know what this has to do with anything, but I guess she's wearing something that looks see-through, but it isn't. And this is her in the past, the way she dresses, and like, I don't know, she looks, it's fashion. I don't know fashion, but she's wearing something, right? But it goes here. It says, she had one of the biggest pop hits in music history alongside Gautier with their 2011 duet, Somebody That I Used to Know. But Kiwi singer Kimbra is completely unrecognizable these days following an edgy makeover. Now, for one, even immediately, I'm like, how is this an edgy makeover? I don't fully follow it. The New Zealand-born songstress, now 32, recently returned to the music scene with the X-rated music video for her new single Replay. So now we're getting that there's apparently a music video, and the music video is X-rated. Now, I have watched the music video, and I will say, it involves gyrating, but I will say, Kimbra is clothed during said gyration. Like, at what point does like dancing sexually in a music video become X-rated? I mean, let's be real. Apparently, it was written by Jay Peterson. I don't think it's Jordan Peterson, but it's written by a Jay Peterson, apparently. And this feels like something Jordan Peterson would write, actually. Those cultural Marxists are trying to convince us to dress nude in dance videos. So it says the clip for the electropop track sees the star thrashing around in lace stockings and a G-string bodysuit that leaves little to the imagination. Now, I don't think what she's wearing is a G-string. But again, why? It's just weird the whole way this is written. And this is my favorite line, okay? At one point, she spreads her legs wide for the camera to display a close-up of her crotch. Now, for one, the thing with like movies or videos is that they're fluid, right? Things are happening. And so at some parts of the fluid movement, certain areas can get like, accentuated or made the bigger focus on the screen or whatever. But here's, I might not show those pictures of that incident, but literally in this article, they freeze framed the video of her dancing such that like you just get a shot of her standing with her crotch forward. Now, it was her. She has every right to do whatever she wants in her music video, and frankly, people can bend and contort themselves in all kinds of ways, even if they're like crotch forward. And frankly, I don't care about it, even if she was completely naked. Like, none of this bothers me whatsoever. But it's the fact that like she's wearing clothes, she's dancing and gyrating, and at one point her crotch is facing the camera, and therefore, what? that it's X-rated now? She licks her lips and tears off her clothes in rage, and at one point comes dangerously close to exposing her bare breasts. My God. So somebody get the vapors. Oh my God. It almost happened. It was dangerously close. I almost feel like we are regressing in society. that we have people complaining that a woman in a music video where the song is like literally about like her struggling with these emotions, and so like the rage that's being expressed here is an internal struggle that she's dealing with, and the music video I think accurately captures that. Even the music, it's frantic. It's like her dealing with this thing, okay? And so there's a lot of like frantic movements, and that's the whole point, right? But then to say she came dangerously close to exposing her breast, as if like even, like I've seen videos where breasts are exposed. And like, what was the danger? What happened to me? Oh no, a breast. Dear Lord. Third wave feminism had a lot of problems, but it feels like we've regressed even from that. My struggle is this, because I do think that society at large, generally, is way more accepting of this. But the minority of people that are scared of the female form, I feel like they are much louder now than they were even like 10 years ago. And that's the worrying part. So I might overstate it when I say it feels like we're regressing, because I actually think we are moving far away from this. It's just like, the Daily Mail knows their audience. They're like writing for boomers. They're writing for people who like get all their news from like Facebook and shit, right? It's just like again, look at what she's wearing in this music video. Like, here we got a still of her. Is this scandal? Is this scandalous? Is it X-rated? Are we in danger right now? Is Kimbra coming to kill us? The singer's powerful voice is also distorted with various vocal effects to match the aggressive production. Yeah, because that's the point of the song. Longtime fans have been floored by Kimbra's new style, with hundreds flocking to YouTube and social media to sound off on her transformation. Yeah, so anyways, so here's the crotch shot. I will just my head is blocking the crotch, so, terms of service aside. But like, look at what we're seeing here. They literally scanned through her music video and waited for this still to happen and took a shot of it and then put it in their paper, only to be like, oh dear God, this woman who used to dress used to dress different, now is X-rated. Show this writer Charlie XCX, they'd have an aneurysm. I think the part that like really struck me was that they're like double dipping here. They want their anger, right? They want to be like, how dare a woman do what she wants to do and be sexy while doing it. And then two, they're like, let's find the portion of the video where you have a clear shot of her crotch in order to show that to our audience so we can also hit the pervert demographic. That's like, they're double dipping here. They're getting the, oh my god, I can't believe woman is sexy demographic. And then they're also getting the, let me pause the film right when, like, I might get a glimpse of something kind of demographic. But here's the thing I want to end on, okay? They sort of just, like, do a skim of her career or whatever. But it ends with this idea that, like, the turn from old Kimbra to now was a turn from, like, non-scantily clad X-rated Kimbra to now she's X-rated because she wears a little bit more revealing clothing. And the only thing I have to say to that, for those of you who remember the very first video that she was in, somebody that I used to know, in the video she's painted, but she is completely naked, okay? She's completely naked in the video. This is a bad shot, but here you go, right there. Now there is, like, scenes in it, like, where, you know, you could, she's not just painted. Like, here's, I think, the end frame as it's like the paint is washing off of her, but she is completely naked in that video. So this idea that there was even, like, an arc from, like, non-X-rated Kimbra to X-rated Kimbra is completely ridiculous. Just utterly ridiculous. And, yeah, I just read this. It was like, for one, I feel weird because it's like, I don't know what it's like to work at the Daily Mail. Like, this is like the Daily Mail Australia, I think, right? So, like, was it just a very slow day? And then it's like, imagine, like, pitching this story where it's like, my guess is this person was just like, told to check out the new Kimbra music video and probably got, like, too aroused by it and, like, was angry that he got aroused by it, that he's like, I have to write about it. I have to write about it. And then, like, purposefully went through the music video to find, like, the shots in the music video that he liked the least. To then expose to everyone else. When it's like, you could just be horny, bud. Like, she's, you know, doing her thing, and you could just look at it and go, yeah, it's performative and sexy, and that's cool. And then just, like, have fun with the rest of your day. You didn't have to write this. I am curious to see what else Jay Peterson for the Daily Mail Australia has written. Iconic Australian swimwear label, Sea Folly, hires a non-binary activist with a beard as its new ambassador, following in the footsteps of Gigi Hadid. Okay, so you know what I feel too, because there is, like, an element to these articles where they're not, like, in your face. Like, at least from the title alone, we haven't gotten, like, dear God, this is terrible. But it's clear, like, that's, like, the reaction, or the people they're trying to attract, you know? It's like they just share this thing, and then they're hoping that simply by, like, oh, here's this thing, they're hoping for, like, the outrage to come out of it. You know what energy it has to me, Core? And anyone would know this who lives in Canada, is the Toronto Sun. Because the Toronto Sun appeals to the same demographic of just, like, women hating and femme hating and trans hating and all of that. Non-binary hating, all of it. And then at the back of their newspaper, right, so it's just like, there's the aggrievement of women being themselves and wanting to be sexy, etc. And then you get to the back, and then there's, like, the sunshine girl. So it's like, it's always this, like, I don't know, a circle of agreement. You see this a lot even with, like, no fat people. Like, what is this with, like, the Aiden Ross thing where he, like, swore off masturbating and then, like, can't stop talking about showing porn to his audience, and like, you know, is always talking about women this and women like, it's like, just have a normal relationship with being horny. Like, why are these people so fucked up? Just relax about it. You know? I'm pretty sure the Sun was explicitly modeled after the Daily Mail. Wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me at all. I don't know. And like the other element too is like, what is it? The Hooters stuff? Because you now have like, the one thing is like, there's like an appropriate way women need to be, right? So you get that sort of like trad woman type thing. You get, you know your Abigail Shapiro's and stuff like this promoting that, and you have a lot of the far right and conservatives pushing that ideal for like trad wives. But then at the same time, you have that demographic being like, we're alpha males. Alpha males go to Hooters. Hooters is a national establishment. Hot women, we need to oogle after hot women. Big booba type attitude. But then, like, they're at tension with each other on that point, where it's almost like they want to keep this thing as an establishment and be like, embrace the objectification of women because they know that the feminists are against the objectification of women, but then they want to also not have women dress in ways such that they can like objectify them, or like, I don't know if what I'm making sense is, but like, I don't think they make sense. They're just struggling internally with like their own desires, when it's like, just be normal. Just be normal. Respect people's boundaries, you know, be nice to people, and they will want to be your friends. But instead you gotta like police people constantly and like hate your own urges, when it's like, no. And then police your own urges by like no fapping or like all the other shit that they do.